Line it up. Call the ball. Too high. Too high. Wave off. Line it up. Call the ball. Wave off. Line it up. Call the ball. Too high. Too high. Wave off. Looking good, Tomcat. Call the ball. Too low. Too low. Too low. Wave off.
Attaining and maintaining carrier qualification demands constant practice. In these qualification runs, you'll start about a mile behind the carrier at an altitude of 600 feet. Approaching at 130 knots, you must line up to the deck, which is angled 8 degrees to the left of the carrier's center line. At 3/4 of a mile out, you should be in the groove, lined up and at an altitude of 300 feet to establish a glide slope of 3.5 degrees. The meatball on the port side of the ship will help you maintain the proper glide slope. The LSO will help to guide you in. As you enter the groove, he'll ask you to confirm that you can see the ball. And if you're Welcome aboard the USS Carl Vinson. I'll be accompanying you on a tour of the world's largest warship. Select any deck, room, or section you wish to explore. So if you're ready, let's get started. We're in primary flight control, the control tower of this floating airport. Here, the air boss rules, managing takeoffs, landings, and the activity of all planes within a 5-mile radius of the ship. During flight ops, the air boss monitors continuous information from the planes, the LSOs on the deck, and the air traffic control center below. He's also in phone contact with the bridge and the handler in flight deck control. The guys in the red shirts are the ordnance men who handle the wide variety of weapons used by the modern aviation navy. Certainly a key purpose of all of these sophisticated aircraft is the delivery of firepower for defensive and war-making capabilities. It's the job of the ordnance men to maintain the weapons inventory in the magazines, to assemble and disassemble the various types of bombs and missiles carried by these aircraft, and to load the weapons onto aircraft. There's risk involved in just attaching the missile. Cartridges that jettison the weapons in an emergency can discharge if not handled properly. It's a very short runway for a jet aircraft, so wound steel cable arresting wires are used to trap the plane.
If one broke, it'd probably kill a lot of people. The plane would go over the side, and it'd be chaos. I mean, there would be a lot of people dead.
An 8-foot tailhook catches one of 4 wires stretched across the deck. The pilot will aim for the number 3 wire for a good trap. The hydraulic pistons will absorb a 55,000-pound collision, stopping a 150-mile-per-hour plane within 350 feet. The Carl Vinson is essentially a mobile airbase that can be swiftly deployed to command the air over any trouble spot. Since the deck of the carrier is too short for a jet takeoff run, 4 catapults launch the planes into the air with steam fed from the nuclear power plant. Landing on the short carrier deck requires the pilot to approach in perfect position and speed for the plane's tail hook to catch one of 4 arrestor cables stretched across the deck. Even with a perfect approach, the tail hook doesn't always catch. Pilots apply full power at touchdown, so if they falter, they can regain the air and approach again. Ground control for the carrier is flight deck control. Controllers track the location and status of all of the carrier's aircraft on a large model of the flight and hangar decks. The tower is primary flight control in the top of the carrier's island. Flight operations from launch to touchdown are under the command of the air boss. The carrier also has a complete radar air traffic center and carries its own Hawkeyes, airborne radar platforms with controllers on board. The hangar bay is a complete maintenance shop, capable of major aircraft repairs as well as routine maintenance and storage. 4 elevators move the aircraft between the hangar bay and the flight deck. The ship can carry 3 million gallons of aviation fuel, enough to support the air wing for more than 2 weeks, and oilers rendezvous with the carrier on a regular basis to top off its aviation fuel tanks. Almost half of the crew members aboard the Carl Vinson are involved with the aircraft and their missions. On deck, colored shirts quickly distinguish the crewmen and their jobs. Yellow shirts are the directors of the flight. When the Carl Vinson departs its San Francisco home for a 6-month deployment, it becomes a self-contained city at sea with a population of more than 5,000 crew members. About half of the crew is directly involved in the carrier's air mission. The rest are assigned to the running of the ship and providing for the daily life aboard. 2 nuclear reactors provide power for the ship.